So, what do we see when we die? Is that not the question? I think about that question a lot. I think a lot of people think about that question, but it's really interesting. And I think about this quote all the time. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That was a quote from Steve Jobs, the creator of Apple, probably the phone you're using right now. That quote was heard by his sister. And I just think that's amazing because what was he seeing? What was he seeing when he died? Science and religion too might have some answers to this. So let's talk about what's going on in the brain, and maybe we don't have to wait until we're dying to kind of get an idea of what we might see when we're dying. So, first of all, we know when we're dying, the brain releases some chemicals: calcium, glutamate, serotonin, and even DMT. These things are released when we die, but coincidentally, those things are also released in part when we're dreaming. So for example, serotonin, melatonin, growth hormone are all released when we're dreaming. And the interesting thing about dreaming is some people can have very vivid, memorable dreams. So memorable, in fact, they report seeing family members, deceased loved ones that have come and visited them in their dream, and they could swear that it felt real, that they were literally in a different world or realm. Lucid dreaming, people report having dreams and they wake up in their dreams. So what's going on there? Well, because coincidentally, there's some same brain activity and chemicals going on. So besides chemicals, which we'll get into in a second, there's brain wave differences that happen as well. So when we're dreaming, gamma waves in REM sleep increases greatly, and then the most amount of gamma wave output occurs when we're dying. There's a lot of coincidences there. Let's talk a little bit about the brainwave function. The brain's really interesting. There's alpha waves, beta waves, and then gamma waves. And the difference is, what I think is really interesting. So in the dying brain, you have the most amount of gamma wave activity. And gamma wave is unique because it is the fastest brain wave. The frequencies range about 30 to 100. Your alpha brain waves are more when you're at work and you're dealing with tasks and you might be a little bit stressed out. You can even daydream. The beta waves are more when you're doing the working tasks. So moral of the story is, when you're dreaming, that's when the gamma waves are increased. To promote that, well, it's getting good restful sleep, because if you're not entering those REM deep sleep parts of the dream cycles and the sleep cycles, you most likely won't have the increased amount of gamma waves, and it kind of works together. So let's get into what can we do to improve our brain health to help with maybe getting into more of those deep, vivid dreams, to maybe give us a glimpse of what we might see when we die. So it's really important to have adequate amounts of melatonin, growth hormone, serotonin. And what ensures that? Well, good sleep. It's known through research that getting to bed, say at 10 p.m., will help that pulsation release of growth hormone and melatonin. And the sweet spot would occur, the first one is about 12 a.m. midnight. So if you get to bed by 10 p.m., it ensures that your brain can start releasing these chemicals so you can have that deep REM sleep where cellular repair occurs, but the most amount of vivid dreams and even lucid dreams occur in the REM state. It's a very easy experiment to try, just getting good, restful sleep, getting to bed by 10, shutting off the lights, turning down the technology, turn off that TV, and just get some good sleep, get that sleep by 10 p.m. The other thing that can help is a little bit of nutrition. So we know we need melatonin to get released because that helps promote deep REM sleep. And just eating wild cherries or tart cherry juice has been known to increase melatonin. And for serotonin, because that also helps with the dream state, something as simple as tryptophan can help increase the amounts of serotonin. But you know what else increases in the brain with tryptophan? DMT. So you may have heard of DMT, or the spirit molecule, as one book coins it to be. DMT is released in the brain in we suspect in the dying brain. They've done some lab rat studies where they've seen elevated amounts of DMT in the dying rat brain. So DMT is also made in our brains and in our lungs, and we think that it could be related to more deep dream states, more vivid dreams, almost having kind of certain gurus or religious figures that do, deep prayer or meditative states might be reaching higher levels of DMT. It's really interesting. And tryptophan is actually required to create DMT and serotonin. So where do you get tryptophan? Well, it's in a lot of common foods, things like sunflower seeds, and it only takes about a small bag of sunflower seeds to get your adequate amount of tryptophan in. Even cheddar cheese, Swiss cheese, which I love, and turkey. So I just wonder on Thanksgiving, are you having like really good dreams? We've always known like after a Thanksgiving, you get kind of tired and drowsy. It's the tryptophan. It increases the ability to dream and have restful sleep. So, there's also research in other things the brain's doing. DMT, psilocybin, ketamine. What's going on with these things? People report being literally transported to another realm. Could we compare that to the dream state? I mean, maybe. We don't have all the answers to that, but there is research going on right now dealing with that. So I just kind of wonder, what was Steve Jobs seeing when he was saying, oh, wow, oh, wow? What was he seeing? Was he seeing a heavenly realm? Was he seeing God? In all my years of medicine, I remember when I was in college and all the science courses, and there was a phase of my life when I was very materialistic as far as like, this table's here, this book's here. I don't know if there's anything else than this, but working in medicine and working with patients in hospice for as long as I have has literally changed my mind. It really has. I personally believe that there is a hereafter, that there is another realm after this one. And I just think of, what did he experience? I know I've had plenty of patient reports, patients saying they see their loved ones coming into the room to get them. There's so many documented reports of this, and it's a common theme of the dying phase. In fact, one way we would know if patients were near the time of their death, and I would even ask family members, are they starting to see their departed loved ones come to get them? And if they said yes, we knew the time was near. It was almost one of the vital signs, if you will. There's nothing we can prove with that. It's not a scientific fact. This is anecdotal, but that was the common theme, that people would report seeing this. So was Steve Jobs seeing the other side? I don't know. I just personally think that there is something to look forward to. And one way we can maybe get a glimpse is improving our dream health. I think it's a good idea. Well, thank you for being here, and I will see you on the next one.